Let's look at the African teams at the World Cup now. African champions Senegal in Group A alongside Netherlands, Qatar, Ecuador. Seemingly an easy group on paper, but you can't dispute the fact that it's the World Cup. It will be competitive. From the 26-man squad list that we saw of the Senegalese and question marks concerning Sadio Mane's fitness, do you think Senegal can qualify from this group?
Expectedly, something they should get out of that group by virtue of the fact that they're African champions, and they've also been to the quarterfinal of a FIFA World Cup before, back in 2002. I still remember that wonderful squad. So the World Cup is a competition of the unexpected. And what do I mean? In 2002, we never saw it coming that France, despite having top strikers in various leagues, the treasures of this world, the Sylvain Whittle, the Henry,
all being defending champion,
got knocked out of the group stage. But this time around, we are banking on Senegal. That can we see a replica of what happened in 2002 repeat itself in 2022? But the big question is, the biggest prospect for Senegal is Sadio Mane.
Exactly.
Just been confirmed that he's going to be missing the group stage of the FIFA World Cup. Something I would not want us to stay here and make a joke of what Qatar have also done based on the friendly matches that they have played and what they have been able to do by virtue of being the host. They also want to leave a lasting impression in the minds of the people who have come to watch them. Let's not joke about what the Ecuadorians have done. If you look at how they qualified from the South
Americans
qualifiers, you will become a region. You will find out that they did excellently well to get to that stage. But I'm banking on Senegal, the likes of Edouard Mendy, their goalkeeper, Amate. He has not been getting game time. Yes, Daniel Amate. Don't forget Ismail Assar. All these guys, we expect them to come to the party. Khalid Koulibaly, the captain of the side, to come to the party and make it count. But definitely, it's going to be difficult for Senegal. My mind tips the Netherlands based on who they are, the array of stars, and what the coach, Louis van Gaal, have been able to do. But I'm banking on Senegal to make us proud.
So the top two will be Senegal as well as,
sentimentally, Senegal and the Netherlands. Senegal and the Netherlands.
Okay, let's look at other African teams. The Ghanaians, they have a very difficult draw as well. They've been drawn alongside Portugal. You have Korea, you have Uruguay. It's easy to say Portugal and probably Uruguay, but Korea can also pose a threat. The Ghanaians have not had it so easy in recent times. I mean, look at the African Cup of Nations in January, where they finished the bottom of their group that had Comoros. They lost to Comoros. They finished bottom of that group, but they were able to get the better of Nigeria over 2 legs. So, in terms of African prospects for the World Cup, getting to the next round, Portugal, Uruguay, Korea, does Ghana stand a chance?
Ghana, don't forget, back in 2010, that was in South Africa, the first time an African country will be hosting any World Cup. They were close.
Luis Suarez's and
yes, and each time the highest goal scorer in Ghanaia's history, Asamoah Gyan, talks about the World Cup. He said he finds it difficult to forget that incident. They said they have a score to settle with the Uruguayans because they debarred them from getting to the semi-final of the World Cup. This Ghanaian team, I know something we are focusing on African teams, but I don't wish them well because they debarred Nigeria from qualifying for the FIFA World Cup. But Otto Addo has said we want to go there and make a lasting impression. The Portuguese, you want to look at them as odds favorite to get out of that group. But when you look at the Uruguayans, they still got Edison Cavani, they got Luis Suarez, they got some decent players. Who is playing out of his skin
at this time.
I think that it will be difficult for the Ghanaians to get out of that group. Let's be honest with ourselves, they'll find it very difficult.
Even with the Ayu brothers?
Oh no, they'll find it difficult to get out of that group.
Okay, so we'll reckon with Senegal going through, Ghana probably crashing out of the group stage. Let's look at the group D. That group is a bit peculiar. You have defending champions France, you have Australia, you have Denmark, who some people are regarded as the dark horses. And you have our North African representative, Tunisia. Now that group is a bit difficult to call as well for Tunisia's chances of qualifying. France, Australia, Denmark, Tunisia.
Australia will be asking themselves, why did you get into this group? The French are the defending champions. And I need to say this about the French national team. You don't want to envy their coach, Didier Deschamps,
Uh-huh.
injuries here and there. In actual fact, Samson, the trio midfield that won them the World Cup, Blaise Matuidi, Paul Pogba, and N'Golo Kante, all out. Christopher Nkunku is also out. But they've still got some decent players, the Ousmane Dembele of this world, Olivier Giroud, the FIFA Ballon d'Or winner, the Karim Benzema and all of that. But when you look at Tunisia, you ask yourself, how will Tunisia get out of this very difficult group, knowing that only 2 teams are going to be qualified? In actual fact, something people have pitted Denmark to top that group, followed by maybe France. Okay. Reason being that even when they met in the UEFA Nations League, over 2 legs, Denmark defeated them 2-1, 2-0 respectively. Exactly. So in every tournament, there are 3 people that we always talk about. Yes. The contenders, the dark horses, and then the pretenders. Yeah. For Denmark, we see them as the dark horses based on the kind of football that they are playing, the Kasper Dolberg, the Christian Eriksen. So it makes it the more difficult for Tunisia to get out of this group.
But let's quickly, I know we're talking about African teams, but looking at this group now, Denmark, ever since that scary incident of Christian Eriksen's heart attack, they've been on a roll.
On a roll.
The last 1 year.
Yes.
Now you look at France. Yes, Karim Benzema, Ballon d'Or winner.
Yes.
He's had his injury, crisis this season, and you can't even tell of his fitness.
Yes.
Now Christopher Nkunku, the highest goal scorer in the Bundesliga, 12 goals in 15 games, is already out of the World Cup. Kante and all of that. Don't you think that as a result of France's injury woes? Do not forget Mike Mayan, also injured.
Yes. So it could, are you saying it could
that Tunisia
play? No, it's going to be difficult because, like it or not, the other guys that we are also looking at, don't forget that French national team are only short in the midfield. Okay. Not necessarily in the attack, and in the defense. Raphael Varane is back. They are very excited about that. But in that midfield, they will now want to lean towards the likes of Aurelien Tchouameni, Edouard Camavinga, that the coach complained about, that he showboats more than playing the game of football. So if the strikers get that supply, you ask yourself, something, which defense can cope with the attack of this French national team, where you have players like Antoine Griezmann, Ousmane Dembele, Karim Benzema, Kylian Mbappe, that can hurt you any day, anytime. So that is where the problem is for Tunisia, that can they get a result? I'm even looking at it that Tunisia might even finish last
in that group,
because Australia is also a force to be reckoned with.
Okay, let's turn our attention now to Group G. Group G is quite exciting because it has one of the title favorites. Brazil is there. You have Serbia as well. Cameroon is in that group as well. Then Switzerland. I know so many people project Brazil to go through, but the runner spot will now probably be between Cameroon, Switzerland, and Serbia. Looking at the 3, I mean, Serbia has Mitrovic and Lajovic, as the strong force. You look at, Switzerland as well. Yes, Shaqiri, maybe not Shaqiri of old.
Granit Xhaka.
Exactly. So, Brazil, Serbia, Cameroon, Switzerland. How does this work out for Cameroon?
I don't know what is playing in my head. Though I just want to tell Samuel Eto'o Fields, please lower your expectation, Mr. Eto'o. I know you want to say something. I heard about his prediction. Oh, Mr. Eto'o, you can do better. Saying Cameroon will meet Morocco in the final. I don't know what is playing in my head, that they also got a very good squad. The number 1 choice now in Inter Milan is Andre Onana. Not even Samir Handanovic. He's doing well. Zamboa Aguinza is playing, Napoli, my word, super midfielder. Eric Choupo-Moting.
Exactly, scoring goals for
fun, Bayern Munich. And how can you forget a Vincent Abubakar? Exactly. He's been there like forever.
Leading presence.
So I just say, Brazil, hot favorite to get out. But something tells me that Cameroon, with that tenacity and that doggedness that they've got, they will get out of that group to join the Brazilians.
Okay, talking about Brazil, before we move to other African nations, I said Brazil, Cameroon rather. They hosted the African Cup of Nations, couldn't make it count, in terms of winning.
But they celebrate that 3rd place.
I mean, they had to celebrate it, but they played well, even getting to that semi-final exit. You now look at the way they responded against Algeria during the World
Oh,
Cup qualifier.
fantastic.
It was great. Everyone had written them off. You saw
Oh,
them
when you
try-
lost at home.
Exactly.
And then you now go away to get a
And
very,
we know
very.
quite well it's difficult playing North African
Yes,
teams at
yes,
their home.
yeah.
So, do you think that what we've seen during that stretch can definitely aid them in qualifying, especially with Rigobert's song at the helm of affairs?
I've always told people who care to listen, the World Cup started in 1930 in Uruguay.
Yes.
From 1930 to the last World Cup that happened in Russia in 2018, no foreign coach has ever won the World Cup. And I'm very excited that going into this year's World Cup, all the African teams all have local coaches.
Yes.
Rigobert's song, at some point in time, looks like he was going to lose his job based on the fact that they lost at home against Algeria, but then went away to a difficult Algeria to get that result and get that ticket. Something just tells me that based on the players that they have and the way they've been playing, I see them getting out of that group to join Brazil. Brazil looks like the untouchable to be joined by Cameroon.